We're here with episode 6 of Inside the Lair, and I'm joined by a very highly decorated setter who played for 2 seasons, Jennifer Chacon. She is second all-time in program history with 808 assists and 141 service aces, and I'm glad to have her here on the program. Jennifer, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So when it comes to talking to several athletes during this segment, I've heard of a myriad of things said to me about why they chose BMCC, the coaches, the location, my recent interview with Nikola Zhilakova, the financial opportunities, the way you could finance, make college a little bit more affordable. The professors, they've given me what they liked about BMCC and why they chose BMCC. Why did you choose BMCC?
One of the reasons why I went to BMCC is because one of my biggest dreams was to play with my sister. We grew up playing together volleyball since we were like 9 or 10 years old. And then she had a surgery on her knee. So, of course, we stopped playing. And when we moved to New York 5 years ago, I was still in high school, but she was already in college. And we did not know nothing about the school system here because it was pretty much different from the school system in Guatemala. So we didn't know about community colleges or CUNY colleges. And BMCC is only about 2 seasons. And so, of course, the first season that she played at BMCC, I couldn't play with her because I was still in high school. So I decided to go there to be able to play with her last season ever. And that's what I did. That's what basically why I chose BMCC.
Here with episode 6 of Inside the Lair, I'm joined alongside women's volleyball player Jennifer Chacon, second program history with 808 assists, 141 career service aces. And we're going to get to the assists because she had a chance to play with 2 great swingers. But your first season, Jennifer, as you said, you really chose BMCC because you wanted to play with your sister. You played alongside a very experienced squad, 13 sophomores on that team. Namali Prince, Stella Vasos, 3 of them, CUNY All-Stars. Of course, Vaso got her second of her 2, all-region first team. I mean, play with your sister, get into that. And also, what was it like to be on a team that had won 14 matches the previous year that really set the tone for you?
It was a lot of pressure, but it was divided into everyone. Everyone was super responsible, and what is very interesting about the team is that we were like an international team. We had people from Italy, from Russia, from El Salvador, me and my sister from Guatemala, from the US, from Dominican Republic, from Puerto Rico. So we had a lot of different countries on the team. And of course, everyone brought like different personalities and different challenges because everyone grew up in a different way. But volleyball was the one thing that we all shared together. And it was so beautiful to see how we all played in a different style, but for the same goal. And it was so powerful because they were all older than me. So I definitely got to learn a lot from them, from like simple things like personality stuff or like from game plans. And it was definitely pressure, but I really had a lot of fun because they really were like super like concerned about the tournaments. It was not just about, oh, we had to have fun or like, oh, we just chill at practice. No, it was like very intense, and we will like get mad, not like at each other, but like because we were so into the game, and because the coach really also like tried to make us realize the importance of the tournaments, the importance of the game, because it was not just like, oh, you guys have to have fun. No, it was like, okay, have fun, but do your job. And we all had a different job. So it was like very interesting and very fun.
And obviously, in 2017, your first season, I mean, you get to quarterback an attack with the program's all-time leader in kills, Stella Vasos. what was it like to play with a two-time CUNY All-Star, two-time first team all-region player like that? I mean, that must have made your job so easy.
Yeah, actually it did. You know, I started playing volleyball since I was like 9, and most of the times I was like in a different team. Some of the hitters were a little scared of having the responsibility of being like the leader or be like, okay, give me the ball, I'm gonna make the point. I never had a player like that. So being on the court in a very tight match, and Stella will be like, give me the ball, I'm gonna make the point, and like the attitude really helped me to be like, okay, this is like so easy, just like you said, because I already had someone that I know that she could do the point, and she was like very like a leader, honestly. And I'm so glad that I got to learn from that and to be with her in my first season.
Here in our sixth installment of Inside the Lair, joined alongside Jennifer Chacon, second in program history with 808 assists and 140 plus career service aces. You mentioned your sister got a chance to play with her. Now, I think she was a libero, so defensively, it wasn't just offense. On defense, your team was good. By the way, 587 total kills, but defensively, you get it done. Obviously, Stella Vasos leads you in blocks during that year with 27, but you had really great backline play from your sister Sarah Lazo, and then obviously 5 players with 10 or more blocks. I mean, Prince able to get over 10 plus blocks. It had to be a nice complete team offensively. It must have been fun in that transition game because from serve receive to right to offense, that helps.
Yeah, it definitely helped. That was one of the reasons why we're so disappointed on the final, because we knew we could have done a lot more. We knew our potential, and we were all very prepared to do our job. Um, Personally, I love to play with my sister because it's like a perfect team, like she passes the ball, I set the ball, and someone hits the ball. So it was a very smooth process, a smooth game. It didn't feel forced at all. It was like very simple. Our practices also made it very easy for us to be like mentally prepared and physically prepared to play against any team, basically.
Here with our sixth installment of Inside the Lair with Jennifer Chacon. Got to play with her sister at BMCC, one of her major reasons for going there. Got to set her up too. 808 career assists, 141 service aces, second in program history, and we're happy to have her aboard with us. So you talk about your first season. A lot of experience, 13 sophomores. You are the lone sophomore your final season. And that year, you do even better as a team. It's just amazing. Your team able to put up 647 kills. You've lost Stella Vasos. You lost that person who could swing. But you get the opportunity that year while putting up career bests in assists, 425, service aces, 81. Yoli Picardo sets a program record for a single season with 256 kills. And you had, again, another balanced offense. How were you able to keep up that pace? That's outstanding.
To be honest, at the beginning of the season, I was super stressed with Coach Aponte because I was the only one on the team. And we were like, okay, where are we going to find 11 kids? It was like super hard, and most of the job was about like a punches job. It was a blessing to find 3 girls that were from the same high school, the libero and 2 hitters. One of them was Jolie Pichardo, because they knew each other already since high school, and they played together. And the thing that I find very interesting is that, like in comparison to like the first season, most of the girls were younger than me, so they had a different mentality. They were more like maybe more fun on the court, and it definitely showed on the game because they were like having fun but at the same time doing their job. So it was a different vibe, definitely, in like a very good way. And it was very relieving to me to find Jolly, because she was a leader too, just as Estella. They were like, okay, give me the ball, I'm gonna make this point. And they were like, they took a lot of responsibility on the court, which is something I really needed because I was the only person from last season. So I definitely needed someone to rely on because most of the girls were like new. It was their first time playing in a college games. So I get it. It was like very frustrating at times, a lot of anxiety going on, but they already had experience on high school and probably on their countries. So it was a very fun experience and I really enjoy playing with them.
Also, you talked about a balanced offense. I mean, a lot of women also stepped up besides Yoli. Ashley LaSalle, 84 kills. Soraya Naki, 75. And Kimberly Campos, 58 kills. I mean, offensively, you were great. On the back end, your sister's gone, but Nisha Rosario, 309 digs. And you get to play one season with the program's all-time leader in digs with 373, Nolveris Fernandez. So again, you're very lucky. Defensively, offensively, you didn't miss a beat with all the players you had to replace.
If I can be honest, you mentioned Nisha del Rosario and Norberi Fernandez. They were so good on their job. Like defensively, they had everything covered on the back. I didn't have to worry about it. Of course, at some games, we had to figure something out because, of course, you need three players on the back. But in most of the games, they covered everything. And the good thing is that, okay, we had Nisha Salivero, but Norberis also play a very important role in every game because she was defensively very effective and she also was a hitter and she was very effective as well. And you also mentioned Soraya. She was growing every game and she was becoming stronger and stronger. Ashley, she was super tall, so she definitely helped us with the block. Kimberly Campos, she was like super strong just as Jolly. So we had a very strong team. And of course we had like some weaknesses just as any other team, but we complemented each other very well, I think.
You're on our sixth installment of Inside the Lair with former setter in women's volleyball, Jennifer Chacon, second in all-time program history with 808 career assists and 141 service aces. She set career marks her final season, 425 assists and 81 service aces. On the assist side, your team lost all that experience and talent, and yet you won 3 of the 4 5-set matches you played your final season. You put up a career high against Suffolk, 38 assists, part of a nice tear going into the postseason. Were you just in a rhythm and how you played so well?
I started playing volleyball since I was 9, and I became a setter when I was like around 11, 12. So I've been playing for a long time now, and all the experience eventually, shows. I've been playing for a lot of pressure ever since I remember. I play in the national team in Guatemala, and I play in high school here. Um, so I think that all that experience definitely helped me to be the setter that I am today. Out of the all positions volleyball has, being setter is my favorite, of course. Definitely at the beginning, I wanted to be a hitter just as everyone else. But when you become like so familiar with the position and when you know that you have to have the brains to create all the games and all the plays, it becomes like something very natural of you. You know all your players, who can hit that ball, who can make that point, because it's not just about the strength or the player, but about the intelligence. So it's just something that becomes very natural. At some point, people are like, good job, how do you see that? It's like very fast. It's about seconds that you have to have like the brains to do the choice of doing a tip or to set the ball, and it just becomes natural.
Sixth installment here of Inside the Lair with former volleyball setter Jennifer Chacon, 808 career assists, 141 career service aces, both second in program history. She's also in the top 25, also down the road there, digs. You've really put up a great career. So as I mentioned before, sophomore day, you are the lone sophomore, and your team beats Kingsborough. You light it up, though. Your team puts up 13 service aces, 31 assists. Talk about what that day was like there on sophomore day. It seems like a great environment.
It was definitely a very overwhelming day for me. I had a lot of emotions. I was super excited. My family was there, my friends were there, and I was the only one who was graduating at that time. But I was very sad actually because everyone on the team, my teammates, my coaches, the entire staff, I was so familiarized with them. They were like my family. So I was very sad that it was going to be my last game ever at BMCC because it was something that I did every day for 2 years. So I wasn't ready to say goodbye, but it's part of the process. You know, you start here, then you go to a different place. And I've been doing that since I was like super little. So I knew it had to happen. The support of everyone on the team, of the coaches, my family. I really felt like a superstar, you know? It was like super great, a super great feeling. And I was super grateful to God for the experience of taking me to BMCC because, you know, in New York City, you have a lot of options. There's a lot of colleges you can go. And I ended up at BMCC, and it really is a blessing for me to have started there because it's not only about, oh, we won this tournament. It's about the friendships that you made. It's about the connections that you made and the family that you gain in that place, you know. I felt very grateful that day. I think I cried when I got home. I'm not sure. Probably I did because, you know, it was a lot of emotions the same day. But overall, grateful for the experience and for the family.
Now let's go here to the women's volleyball program. You know, you said the players were serious in 2017 with 13 sophomores, although there's a lot of smiles that pick it up in the CUNY playoffs from a lot of the photos. 2018, you had a lot of fun with that team. When it comes to Coach Odalia Ponte, talk about the team environment she promotes.
I'm a big fan of women in power. I've had 9 coaches throughout my entire career, and I've only had 2 women coaches, which is pretty odd, you know, and very interesting to see. She definitely was like a mom to all of us. She had a lot of responsibility. She was a coach at BMCC, she was a coach at her high school, and she was a coach at a legacy volleyball club. And she's a mom. So how do you manage to do all those things? Like it's crazy for me. And she managed to do every single thing in such an excellent way. We're all women and we all like understand each other. And she was always super concerned about everyone. Of course, she knew that not everyone would go to her if they were facing different problems. So she will ask me to like, how is she doing? Or what do you think she's going through? You know, like she was always talking to me about the other players. She was concerned about their life because she knows that your life problems eventually become a burden in your life. So it shows in your game. So she was concerned, but not like, oh, because she's my player, I need her to play well. No, because she was concerned about her as a human being. I feel like we all felt really connected to her. I will go to her if I needed help, you know, not as sports related, but because I wanted to talk to someone. I remember for tryouts, she will ask me to help her to see if someone will be able to be on the team. I remember she will be telling me like, "Oh, I can work with her. She has potential." That really stuck with me. She really had a lot of compassion for the people, and it really shows because we were all always trying to prove her right. She was always proud of us, even if we lost. She was always trying to make us feel good.
Here with episode 6 of Inside the Lair with former BMCC women's volleyball setter Jennifer Chacon, 808 career assists, 141 career service aces, also a CUNY All-Star in her final season, in which her squad put up over 640 plus kills, 26 wins in your 2 seasons there. Pretty impressive. Final question here. Now you're at Hunter College. You're a film and TV major. Where do you plan to go with that major?
I really love film. I love acting. I've been acting since I was like 6 years old. I have a lot of friends that are film majors, so I've been a little involved in that field as well. So right now, it's funny because my sister is doing the same major and the same minor. So we are both trying to create like a company, because at this point we already know about acting, directing, filming, marketing. We can do it basically everything on our own. And of course, it's good to have contacts, which we already have because our classmates have the same dreams as us. Basically, that's my dream, to become an actress, a director, and to do films that can actually, not like Hollywood films, which I eventually would love to be part of, but also like documentaries. I would love to go back to my country, Guatemala, and film some documentaries and films over there, because there's a lot of beauty around the world, and I feel like films are the perfect way to communicate those ideas that you have. And right now, I feel like it's a perfect time that we have a lot of inclusion, that we can show the world about other countries, about other cultures as well. So I'm really excited.
Well, I'm looking forward to a shot of a film on Guatemala because every photo I see of it is gorgeous
Thank,
and it's beautiful. Jennifer, thank you for joining us on this interview.
thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored. And as long as it's BMCC, I'm down for everything.